Love and Marriage Huntsville star Martell Holt just violated the no contact order ahead of his domestic violence conviction appeal. So could this mean that he's going back to jail?
Martell Holt is back in the headlines, and this time, it's not about his latest business move or reality TV moment, it's about breaking the law. Reports say Martell has violated the no contact order with his ex-wife, Melody Shari, just weeks before his upcoming appeal. And what makes this even more shocking is how bold and reckless this move seems to be. After everything that's happened between them, you'd think Martell would have learned by now. But apparently, he hasn't. Sources close to the situation say Martell's actions might cost him more than just his freedom. This could destroy what little chance he had left at rebuilding his reputation, his custody rights, and his relationship with his children. The district attorney isn't playing around this time, filing a motion to revoke Martell's bond completely.
Previously reported Martell was arrested in January on a warrant for DV. Melody obtained the warrant for the charge in July of 2023. This occurred after a former friend of Martell's paramour, coleslaw, revealed the plot to use the paramour to release an explicit video featuring Melody on social media. And apparently that video actually was a video of Martell and Melody. But as you know, if you watch Love and Marriage Huntsville, Martell, even this past week's episode, is trying to paint the narrative that Melody was a cheater too. So they remind us, it says, during the latest Love and Marriage Huntsville season premiere, Melody explained what Martell did to lead her to get the warrant. Melody mentioned that Martell had sent her a text message threatening Melody to stop messing with him. He then sent a screenshot from the video they recorded. Love and Marriage Huntsville producers showed a screenshot of the message, but did not show the image Martell sent Melody. Melody confirmed the screenshot was from a video they recorded while married. She alleged that Martell's plot to expose her under the guise that Melody cheated on him with another man.
If the court agrees, Martell could be heading straight back to jail. No cameras, no spotlight, just consequences. But how did things reach this point again? Why couldn't Martell stay away from Melody, even with strict court orders in place? And what does this mean for his future on and off the screen? Let's break it all down, because this story is far from over. Long before all the legal chaos and media drama, Martell and Melody were once seen as a power couple. Viewers of Love and Marriage Huntsville watched them build their empire from the ground up. They were young, ambitious, and determined to show that black love could thrive even under pressure.
So the news broke last night that he violated a no contact order. But just let me give you a little history before we get into what this means, okay? So shout out to our friends over at Urban Bell. They write this in an article that was published over 7 months ago in regards to him being convicted of domestic violence against Melody Shari Rogers. So they said Love and Marriage Huntsville star Martell Holt was convicted earlier this month for his charge of DV harassing communications against his ex-wife, Melody Shari Rogers. According to court documents exclusively obtained by Urban Bell, Martell was convicted on May 2nd, given a 30-day suspended jail sentence, 12 months of supervised probation, and fined over $500. He is also required not to have any contact with Melody. So that's an important to note. Martell subsequently appealed the ruling and is out on bond pending the appeal.
But behind the polished smiles and TV perfect moments, something darker was growing, a storm that would eventually destroy everything they built together. Their marriage was full of highs and lows. There were moments of love, but also long nights of tension, tears, and betrayal. Martell's infidelity became the wound that never healed. Even as Melody tried to keep her family together, the truth kept breaking through. And once the public learned about his affair and the child born outside their marriage, there was no turning back. The heartbreak played out not just in private but on national television. Millions watched as Melody tried to hold her head high while her world was falling apart. She didn't just lose a husband, she lost trust, peace, and the life she thought she was building. As for Martell, his downfall didn't stop with the divorce.
In new court documents obtained by Urban Bell, their custody case is open and no longer in mediation. Martell must also provide proof that he obtained a psychological evaluation.
The anger, the control, and the resentment seemed to follow him everywhere he went. Eventually, things escalated so much that the court had to step in. Melody accused Martell of harassment and threatening behavior. She said she couldn't live in peace without looking over her shoulder, worried about what he might do next. After hearing her testimony, the court didn't take it lightly. They issued a no-contact order strictly forbidding Martell from contacting Melody outside of issues related to their children. For a while, things seemed calm. Martell was on probation and ordered to take anger management classes. The message from the court was clear: any violation would have serious consequences.
But based on behavior that we've seen on the show, for me, it's sort of a telltale sign, very much like when we were talking about Real Housewives of Potomac and what TJ was doing to Stacey. It's a telltale sign, some of the things that we are seeing on camera, that it might be much worse off camera. But Martell has shown some really disturbing behavior over past seasons. Again, if you haven't watched the show, you probably don't understand what we're talking about, but there have been signs of just abusive behavior. I remember at one point I went on a rant like, why are we allowing someone that's being abused to be filming with her abuser? I remember saying that a couple of years ago.
But as time passed, whispers began circulating that Martell wasn't sticking to the rules. People close to Melody claimed she was still being watched and followed. There were rumors of unexpected phone calls and random appearances near her home. Still, Melody tried to move on. She focused on her kids, her music, and her healing journey. She even shared her struggles openly with her fans, turning her pain into purpose. But just when it seemed like she was finally finding peace, Martell crossed another line. According to new reports, the trouble started after Melody had a private meeting with the district attorney regarding their ongoing custody case. Shortly after that meeting, Martell allegedly reached out to her demanding to know what was discussed. This wasn't a message about the children or scheduling, it was personal. And that's exactly what made it a clear violation of the no-contact order. People who know Melody say she felt shaken and deeply uncomfortable. She didn't want any communication with him that wasn't required by law. But the situation didn't stop there. Sources claim Martell may have taken things even further, showing up near places Melody frequents, as if trying to keep tabs on her. Some even say he's been seen driving by her neighborhood, making her fear for her safety all over again. The district attorney's office wasted no time. After reviewing the alleged violation, they filed a motion to revoke Martell's bond, meaning he could be taken back into custody immediately. If that happens, Martell's appeal, where he hoped to overturn his previous domestic conviction, could be in jeopardy. This latest move paints a grim picture. Breaking a no-contact order isn't just a small mistake, it's a direct act of defiance against the court. It shows a pattern of behavior that judges rarely overlook. For Martell, this could mean new charges, more jail time, and serious damage to his already fragile reputation. But beyond the legal side, what hurts the most is how this keeps reopening old wounds for Melody. She's spent years trying to protect herself and her children from the chaos that follows Martell. And every time she starts to breathe again, something pulls her back into the storm. For Melody, this isn't just about paperwork and courtrooms, it's about peace. She's been open about how hard it's been to rebuild her life after everything that happened. She's had to distance herself from people she once trusted because she wasn't sure who might still be loyal to Martell. That's a painful thing to do, cutting off friends, isolating yourself, just to feel safe. Melody has said that her biggest priority is her kids. She wants them to grow up in a loving and stable home, far away from drama and fear. But when their father keeps getting into legal trouble, it's hard to protect them from the noise. People close to her say she's been struggling with anxiety and sleepless nights, worried about how all this affects her children emotionally. She's even spoken about therapy, saying it's been her lifeline through all of this. Learning to set boundaries hasn't been easy, especially when those boundaries keep being tested. Melody once said that boundaries aren't just preferences, they're survival. And right now, that couldn't be more true. While she's been focusing on her healing, Martell seems to be fighting his own battles, but in all the wrong ways. He's facing possible jail time, losing credibility in his appeal, and destroying his chances of ever repairing his image. Every time he breaks a rule or lashes out, it reinforces the same question people have been asking for years: does Martell know how to take responsibility? The reaction online has been fierce. Fans of Love and Marriage, Huntsville have seen this side of Martell before: his temper, his pride, and his refusal to admit when he's wrong. But now, it's not just TV drama, it's real life with real consequences. One fan wrote, "Martell keeps proving that he can't follow simple rules. If he truly cared about his kids, he'd stay away from Melody and respect the court's order." Another added, "Melody deserves peace. She's been through enough humiliation and pain. It's time for the system to protect her. People are tired of seeing the same cycle repeat. The cheating, the lies, the outbursts, it's all caught up to him. And this time, the court might finally make sure he faces the full consequences." Legal experts are saying that if the bond is revoked, Martell could be taken back into custody immediately, no delays. That means no freedom while waiting for his appeal, no time to fix his public image, and no control over how the world sees him. And the truth is, the judge's decision could impact more than his legal case. It could also change how the custody court views him as a father. Family courts always prioritize the safety and well-being of the children. If a parent's behavior poses a risk or causes emotional distress, it's taken seriously. Violating a no-contact order sends a message that Martell may not respect boundaries or authority. And that could weigh heavily in any future custody decision. But what's really heartbreaking here is the human side. Melody didn't ask for any of this. All she ever wanted was peace for herself and her kids. She's worked hard to build a life beyond the pain. Every business she's launched, every song she's written, it's been part of her healing journey. Yet no matter how much progress she makes, the past keeps finding its way back. Friends say she's been stronger than most people realize. Behind her calm smile, there's a woman who's fought through betrayal, humiliation, and fear and somehow kept moving forward. She's learned that healing isn't linear. Some days she's fine, and others, the memories still sting. But she keeps showing up for her children, her fans, and herself. As for Martell, many wonder if he'll ever take accountability. It's one thing to lose a marriage, it's another to lose your freedom. This latest mistake might be the wake-up call he desperately needs, but whether he'll learn from it is still uncertain. This story isn't just about fame or a failed relationship, it's about boundaries, respect, and consequences. Martell once had everything: a beautiful family, a successful TV career, and a future full of potential. But his actions keep pulling him further from the man he claims he wants to be. The court's next decision could define his future. If his bond is revoked, it won't just be a legal punishment, it'll be a moment of reckoning. The world will be watching to see if Martell finally accepts responsibility or continues down the same destructive path. For Melody, this chapter is another test of strength. She's survived the heartbreak, the public humiliation, and the fear. She's proven that even when life falls apart, it's possible to rebuild piece by piece. But one thing's for sure this time, she's not looking back. Martell Holt's story is a reminder that actions have consequences. Fame can fade, money can disappear, but the truth always finds a way to rise. And while Martell faces another fight in the courtroom, Melody's focus remains the same: peace, healing, and protecting her children from the storm that never seems to end. As this legal battle unfolds, one question remains: will Martell finally learn, or will history repeat itself once again? Because if he doesn't change soon, his next headline might not be about an appeal, it might be about a man who lost everything because he couldn't let go. As this situation unfolds, one thing has become painfully clear: this isn't just another reality TV scandal. It's a real-life story about choices, accountability, and the heavy cost of ignoring the truth. Martell Holt's downfall didn't happen overnight. It came from a series of decisions, each one cutting a little deeper into the life he once built. He had a chance to move differently, to show growth and redemption, but instead, he allowed pride and anger to lead the way. There's something tragic about watching a man lose everything he said he loved because he couldn't control his emotions. Fame and attention can fade quickly, but the damage caused by broken trust lasts far longer. Martell is standing at a crossroads now. One path could lead him toward genuine change, humility, and healing, but the other could send him even further into isolation and regret. The next few weeks will decide which way he goes. For Melody, this chapter is both painful and freeing. She's carried the weight of public judgment, betrayal, and fear, yet she's still standing. Her strength is what many women see themselves in, a reminder that peace doesn't come from what you escape, but from what you refuse to return to. No matter what happens in court, Melody's focus has shifted. She's not fighting for revenge anymore, she's fighting for peace, for safety, for a life her children can feel proud of. Watching her journey reminds us that healing doesn't mean forgetting, it means learning to live again without letting the pain define you. Melody has chosen to rise above the chaos, and that's something no court order can take away. As for Martell, his time to change is running out. The cameras is the fans, the fame, none of that can protect him from the consequences of his own actions. The law is patient, but it's not blind. If he doesn't take accountability now, the next time we hear his name, it might not be in the headlines of entertainment, it might be in a courtroom record. Because when love turns into obsession and pride replaces peace, the story never ends well. And for Martell Holt, the question remains, will he finally choose growth, or will he keep chasing the chaos that's already cost him everything?